Hi, welcome along to a game of two halves here on DR Sport, featuring myself and Mark Goldbridge in the building. How are you doing, Mark? Merry Christmas to you and all your family. I hope everything's going well.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you and your kin. Look, it is nice. It's Christmas time, but I've just realised actually that Man United lost again, didn't they? It's sort of becoming a bit of a habit, but look, lots to get into. I thought it was I think we're starting to get that separation in the Premier League now, aren't we? We're starting to, a couple of weeks ago, people were talking about the top 10 being separated by a point, and I think we're starting to see a top 3 now, certainly, and even potentially a top 6.
Yeah, well, let's start off with that Man United game because that was on Sunday. Manchester United losing by 2-1. It was I described it afterwards as Morgan Rogers 2, Man United 1, because it was the Morgan Rogers show, really. I mean, I thought that United dominated the game despite all the injuries, despite the fact that Bruno went off with what looked like some sort of muscle injury, which is very concerning for Manchester United. United played as well as I've seen them play for quite a while. Moved the ball well, looked much better with that sort of 3 in the middle. Played well, played very well, but somehow lost the game. And really, Morgan Rogers with 2 outstanding goals. Lenny Yoro giving him way too much space on both of them. But it was literally the Rogers show.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's interesting. It's a bit like Monday night with Bournemouth, where everyone said what a great game it was. From a United point of view, it's a draw against Bournemouth at home when we need to win. And I think yesterday, even some United fans on our match reaction were like, "Oh, stop being so negative." And it's like, our win percentage this year is 41%. Like we're not doing as well as we could do. We're not in Europe, and although I take on board that we did quite well yesterday, we still lost the game. We are Manchester United, and I know I get bored of saying that, but like, we knew the AFCON was coming. So the 3 players that are out, I don't really count that. And Bruno getting injured. Well, look at Arsenal. Look at how many injuries you've had. I mean, it's almost like some United fans are taking it as, well, we played well and we had a lot of problems. And I'm like, well, a lot of those problems are because we haven't built the squad properly. And also, life's not fair. You can't walk out of that and go, Merry Christmas, we played well. We've lost to Villa. And Villa always play bad against us. We're their bogey team. Everyone's got a bogey team. And I thought Villa didn't play very well. And when you look at it, apart from the Cunha header, where was the big chance that we missed to win the game? I think the most we were going to get was a draw where we go, well, we played well. So I think we're sort of past that stage now of going, well, we played well but lost. I think we've lost a lot of games this season. We've dropped a lot of points, and I think Newcastle on Boxing Day is absolutely huge now, because I was impressed with them against Chelsea. And if they come to Old Trafford and beat us, I just don't know what United's vision is, really. I know people say, oh, we played well, but you're still 10 minutes to go and Delo's coming across the other side of the pitch to chuck a long throw in. It's very, very confused by what United are all about at the moment. But look, I can't say we didn't play well, but Villa won the game. I'd rather be Villa than Man United. Let's put it that way.
And if you're Lenny Yoro and you sort of stood off of Morgan Rogers in the first half and he scored that brilliant goal, you don't do it again, do you? You get tight to the guy. It's a bit of a schoolboy defending there. Although Morgan Rogers, 2 great goals. I was reading where Aston Villa at the moment, they're like outperforming their XG by miles. They're just like, it's a lot of games where there's a lot of brilliant, strike. I think they've scored more goals from outside the box than any other team in Europe this season. Do you think they can maintain that, or do you think that they just have so much quality that they can? Because they do have a lot of quality in midfield, up front, attacking wise. Whether it be Morgan Rogers, Buendia, John McGinn, Tielemans, the midfield is very strong.
I mean, I got in trouble with some Villa fans after the game because I was saying, that's potentially Champions League football gone for Man United, because I don't think Villa will finish in the top 4. So 5th. And we're 10 points behind them. Can you close a 10-point gap at Christmas? It's a lot for United to do. I don't think Villa will be in the top 5, unless that's just Villa and their United voodoo of like not playing well, because they never play well against Man United. Their fans will tell you that. But I watched them yesterday and I thought, I found them quite easy to play against because they play out from the back, which means you just know to press every time. They don't go long, and they get into trouble doing that. But that's how we scored. I mean, at the end of the day, our goal was a mistake, wasn't it? When you think about it, I'd forgotten. So I don't think Villa will get top title race. I don't think they will. I don't think they're in a title race. And I think their fans would admit that. I think if they can get top 4, they'd be over the moon with that because they didn't really cause much of a threat yesterday. And how many times can you rely on those, shots from outside the box? And Morgan Rogers was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he's quality. He's really stamping his authority to get that starting spot for England. Come the end of the season in the World Cup.
I think Konsa's good as well. I think Konsa's good. I think Konsa had a good.
Yeah, Konsa had a good game as well. No, it was a great win for them. I don't know. I do think they'll get top 4. Not sure if they'll be able to maintain it all season for a title race, but I definitely think they're good enough for top 4. But an excellent result for Aston Villa. At the top is still Arsenal. Wasn't a vintage performance by them. I was there at the brand new Hill Dickinson Stadium, and I got to say, impressive stadium it is as well. I really did like the place. Definitely a lot different to Goodison Park, right, with the old wooden terraces and stuff like that. But it was a penalty that won it. Definite handball, but a penalty that won it. And listen, Arsenal really should have won it by more. They had chances at the post twice. It wasn't a great performance, but they should really. It was as comfortable a 1-0 win as you will see, and they should really have won it by more. And they're top of the league for Christmas.
Yeah, I think I watched the game. I think they made a bit of hard work of it. I mean, I've seen a bit of negativity around Arteta and Arsenal, but ultimately, we've spoke about it. I think you do need to move the ball quicker. I thought one of the best moves was actually Saliba getting it into Gyökeres quick, and it was a good block by Tarkowski. I think they do need to move the ball quick sometimes.
Yeah.
But defensively, they're so strong. I mean, look, it could have been a penalty. Saliba kicking that player. We've seen them.
Yeah. I also thought he should have been a penalty on Gyökeres. Just about to head the ball in, and he pushed in the back.
Yeah.
So
could have been. But I think. I think from an Arsenal point of view, they're obviously having a little bit of a wobble. They're not, they are a little bit vulnerable, and they've won 2 games. So, look, it's the History Channel, but I've seen United win many titles, and I would never be moaning about 6 points from 6 when you're under a bit of pressure. Man, it goes like that. Man City at the moment, best team in the league, scoring loads of goals, playing really, really well, but they'll be frustrated that Arsenal keep winning. And that's what you've got to do. It's a bit like a couple of weeks ago when Man City beat Leeds and they beat Fulham. That's frustrating for Arsenal because it's like, they keep winning. So Arsenal just got to keep in their lane, keep doing what they're doing, and go game to game. So it's a good result for them.
Yeah, good result as well for Man City. They are really playing well at the moment. 3-0, comfortable as you like against West Ham, who are in serious relegation trouble now. I mean, I was looking at the table. And West Ham, with that defeat now, are 5 points off survival time. I mean, they're in the bottom 3, 13 points. Forest on 18, ain't even played yet. They really got to start getting their act together. But a comfortable win for Manchester City.
Yeah, and I think with West Ham, I was looking, they've got 3 of their next 4 games at home. And they're all sort of, I mean, what's winnable in the Premier League? But they're all games that, like, if they don't win at least 2 of those, you can see Leeds picking up some more points. Forest, they could find themselves in a position where we're almost going, surely West Ham won't go down, but the gap will be starting to get too big. So I think Leeds have sorted themselves out, and Forest under Dyche were always going to do that. And West Ham find themselves in that position where maybe the last couple of years, the newly promoted teams were crap, but now there's a relegation battle, and West Ham are right in it. They've got to find some results.
Yeah, no, they do. And touching on that, Leeds, what a win by them. 4-1 win over Crystal Palace. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who, ex-Everton player, lots of injuries throughout his career. But we've all known for a while that this guy's quite a talented player if he's injury-free. And you put the ball in the air, I think it was like 4 set pieces in that game that they have 2 long throws. I mean, they were really direct, but it worked. And that is a Premier League. 4-1 winners over Palace. Palace, the games that they're playing, really mounting up on them now to play a Conference League game. They did rest loads and loads of players, but he still has an effect. You said it last week, and then they got to play Arsenal on Tuesday, in the Carabao Cup quarter-final, then go again after that. I mean, it's a lot of games for Palace. I
think if you're an opposition of Palace now, you're just looking at when are they playing on a Thursday night and going, that's a really good opportunity for 3 points, because as some people were moaning at the weekend, well, yeah, he picked a reserve team. I was like, look at the bench. Some of those first team players came on, which means they've got to turn up, they've got to warm up, they've got to sit on the bench, they've got to come on for 20 minutes. There's 48 hours in 2025, I think, is disgusting. But look, who's at fault for that? Is it Europa? Is it the UEFA? Sorry, is it Premier League? But look, Leeds took advantage of it. But I do feel bad for Palace, because I think if they were playing one game a week, they'd be having a better season than they are, and they're having a good season. So,
yeah. The crazy game of the weekend was Liverpool going to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and winning the game by 2-1. Tottenham reduced to 9 men. It was a crazy game. First of all, I remember we was driving up in the car to Everton, and the guys were saying, they're not, even though it was Tottenham, they was like, I'm not sure if the Xavi Simons one couldn't have just been a yellow. I saw it afterwards. I said, well, you guys must be crazy. What's this just red? This studs down the Achilles of Van Dijk. Why he did that, I don't know. What goes through the head of some footballers? Why? The guy's running away from goal. I thought he's in his own half. It was crazy.
I'll probably be more with your people in the car on it. I think it was because it was just so strange. It sort of felt like he hadn't done it deliberate. It was almost like he'd ran into him a little bit. But, it's
stupid.
It's stupid. Like you say, it's stupid. It's unnecessary. It's stupid. It's not as bad as the Anthony Gordon one on Van Dijk last year, but it is still stupid. And very lucky for Liverpool as well, Robbie, because at that point, I felt Spurs were on top. And Liverpool, to me, I mean, you talk about United not having a vision, but Liverpool won the league last year. I look at them and I think, I just can't see it. You can criticise Arsenal moving the ball slow, and you can look at how Man City are playing, even Chelsea, and I look at them and I go, I know what they're trying to do. But with Liverpool, I just sort of like go, I just don't believe they're out of the woods with Slot, even though they've won their last 2. But Spurs imploding, I felt sorry for Thomas Frank, because I'm sort of like, well, he's going to get a load of pressure and they're going to say Frank out. But even at 2-1 with 10 men, they're under pressure. They've got Liverpool under pressure. And then the bloody captain gets himself sent off as well. And you think, may as well give up.
What is he doing, Romero? What is he doing? Right in front of the referee. I mean, you're the captain. You're the leader. I mean, honestly, like I just couldn't. Yeah, you're right. You've got to feel sorry for Thomas Frank, because I reckon if they kept 11 versus 11, they could have got an equaliser there.
Yeah.
Liverpool looked all over the place. I mean, they were really under pressure for that last 15 minutes. You wouldn't have believed that, that there was only 10 men, and even with the 9 men, they put a bit of pressure under Liverpool.
Second time, remember Newcastle at the start of the season at St James's Park? They played with 10 men and got back into the game and nearly won it. Something was strange about Liverpool this year.
I know another controversial incident in there. Do you think the Ekitike goal should have stood?
Well, I do now. I do think it should stand in relation to the way that the PGMOL are refereeing the game over the last 18 months. But honestly, I think it's a foul, because I think, you can't jump for something and get a push in the back. We've all played football. We've all watched football. If you jump for something and someone gives you a push, you can't win the header. So, of course, it's a foul. But this started nearly 2 years ago, didn't it? Was it Burnley, Luton, when the Luton striker just whacked into James Trafford, and it was clearly a foul, and the PGMOL said no. And I think ever since then, you basically can push people in the box, whether it's the goalkeeper or a defender. So it made a rod for their own back. So I knew it was going to be a goal, but that's, obviously you can see the push.
Yeah, obvious push to me, but big win for Liverpool. Florian Wirtz with his first assist of the season as well. And Isak, of course, scoring. And get well soon to him, because it looks like he suffered a very serious injury. Looks like it could be a broken leg, is what some of the talk is. And so season, unfortunate for him. He did. That was a great finish by him. The other crazy game was Newcastle 2, Chelsea 2. Newcastle 2-0 up. Voltemada should have scored more. He missed a couple of easy chances. And if you don't put a team to bed, you're in trouble. And Chelsea came back with 2 goals. Great free kick by Reece James. And it was a good game. Yeah. Also in that game, another controversial moment. I want to get your opinion on, did you think that was a penalty? The tackle by
Chalobah, wasn't it?
Chalobah. Yeah.
100%. I thought it was a penalty. You know, when I first saw it, I don't blame the referee on the pitch, because when I saw it on the pitch, I was like, what's Anthony Gordon doing there? You know, it's just a shoulder barge. But it's the minute you watch it on the VAR, I'm like, mate, that's a penalty. That's a penalty. He can't do that. You know, he absolutely fouls him. And if that was on the centre circle, it's a, you know, and for the PGMOL to come out and say it was a shoulder barge, nobody I've spoken to, even Chelsea fans, were like, "We got away with one there." You know, it's
look how quick look how quick the VAR gave that decision. I couldn't believe it. Like, yeah, that's fine. Shoulder side by side, it weren't. No. He's look at the massive contact on it. He takes the player out. Oh, it was crazy.
But Newcastle should have won it anyway, like you said, and they'll be kicking themselves. But look, at that point,
Harvey Barnes had a big chance as well.
Yeah. Newcastle played really well, but they're having that sort of a season, aren't they? I mean, we've got them next. That's what I mean. If they play anything like that, we've got a tough game on Boxing Day. But they're a good team, Newcastle, but they're nowhere near it in the league, are they?
Yeah, they're just not clicking, and they're just not defending. I mean, they're throwing away lots of leads as well in games. But Newcastle drawing at 2-2. Some of the other games, Bournemouth won, Burnley won. An important point for Burnley, a last-minute equaliser by Brozier. 0-0 was Brighton versus Sunderland, so not a lot to talk about there. And Wolves, only 2 points this season. Would it be looking at a game like this and saying, right, I've got Brentford at home. If we're going to get winning, 3 points before Christmas, this is it. They were absolutely dreadful. I couldn't believe it was the same team that played Arsenal last week. The defending was atrocious. Even when they got offered a penalty, the penalty they took was a disgrace. I mean, they are going down with a whimper. I mean, 2 points at Christmas.
Madness.
And the team that a lot of us at the start of the season thought they'd probably be the team that would be in this situation in Brentford. 3 points for them. They're going really well. Their manager deserves a lot of credit for what he's done this season. When you consider all the players that have left Brentford, brilliant.
Yeah, I think the mistake you made was that you thought the Wolves team that played against you was going to turn up against Brentford. What I did is I didn't watch your game, but I'd watched them play against us, and I went on that team, and that's the worst team I've seen in years. They're so
honestly
bad. So,
if we would have lost to them last week after what I saw, I mean, they were absolutely shocking. I mean, honestly, and you looked in the ground as well. There's lots of empty seats. I mean, yeah, it's not looking great if you're a Wolves fan this Christmas. You probably avoid football at all costs. Looks like their players are doing that as well. And as we take a look at the table, at the moment, Arsenal top on 39, City second, 37 points, Villa 36 points in third, Chelsea in fourth on 29, Liverpool 29. Missed opportunity for Man United on 26 points, but it's still pretty close for those Champions League spots. It's definitely up for grabs. But at the bottom, we're starting to see already, like you said, the teams that are going to go down. Wolves, 2 points. They're gone as far as I'm concerned. Burnley, 11 points. West Ham, 13. But Forest, who play tonight, they are 18 points. And Leeds, big win for them, 19 points. They're starting to open up a gap on the bottom three. So really, really interesting. Let's get into our team of the week. Do you want to start?
Well, the only thing I would say is that I did watch quite a lot of football this week, and I did struggle to find certain positions. So I'm going to bow down to some of yours, but there was 4 or 5 players that just stood out massively to me. So yeah, I've seen your goalkeeper of Raya, and I was desperately trying to find somebody else, and I'm sure the chat will. But realistically, what else is there that played well? I thought Martinez did quite well against United. But not enough big. We had one chance that we didn't score, which was Cunha.
Raya, to be fair, he didn't really have many big saves to make. I was just maybe because I was at the game and I thought his handling and everything was really good. When you consider that all they did was lump the ball up there, maybe actually I was thinking maybe Kelleher, you know, because he did save a penalty, but that penalty was dreadful. They were playing Wolves, so it did.
So the Sunderland goalkeeper might have played well at Brighton. I don't know because I didn't see the game. So it was a tough. Look, in fairness to us, let's just give it Raya because I don't really know. I struggled on that one this week.
Back four? You're back four?
Well, the only player I would chuck in there, having looked at yours again, it's a bit tough. I do think O'Reilly at Man City's been brilliant this season. So I'm happy with him.
O'Reilly.
I think Timber is superb. If I say what makes me laugh, every time I watch Chelsea, people got Reece James better than Timber. I'm like, are you watching this game? He's playing centre midfield. He doesn't even play right back.
He doesn't play as a right back. He doesn't play as a right back. Timber as a right back right now, to me, is the best in the league. And again, you know, you see players, they don't even want to take him on because they know it's just so difficult.
Very good. But yeah, so I agree with that. I just think Konza played very well against us yesterday. And again, maybe that's because I watched the game, but I thought Konza played really well. And people say Man United played well, and we did, but we didn't create much, which meant that their centre backs were busy. And I can't put Lindelof in because that would just make me sick. So I'll put Konza in.
Okay, well, because I had Timber, O'Reilly, Saliba, and Rodon of Leeds. But all right, listen, I'll give you Konza then. So we put in Konza, maybe because I saw him the other day and he said that he feels Arsenal could win the league. So now
Konza.
So now all of a sudden I've got a soft spot for him.
Surprised you didn't put him in yourself then. Bloody hell.
All right. Midfield.
Well, you've got Wirtz, James, and Rodgers. I agree with two of them. I agree with Reece James. I agree with Rodgers, but I actually thought Bruno Guimaraes was brilliant in that game for Newcastle. I thought him and Rodgers, him and James were the standout players. Some of his passing, I just thought I would love him at Man United, and I think there's a lot of teams, Man City as well. I thought he's very unlucky to be on the drawing team, and I thought he was brilliant. I think him and Reece James were really the standout players in that game. So I've got to put.
All right. I was trying to put in Wirtz because, you know, first assist of the season.
I don't think he was that good though, was he? Really? Come on.
He was up against 9 men for a lot of the games. So all right, we've got Guimaraes in there, and up front.
No worries. I agree with yours. You can read it out. Yeah.
Voltemada, even though he should have scored more. Calvert-Lewin at Leeds, 2 big goals, and of course, I'm just going to leave this guy in every week, Erling Haaland, because every week it's incredible what this guy does, man. It's just, it's honestly, he is just a ridiculous footballer. The amount of goals he scores, it's insane.
And it's not a surprise, is it? And teams that, you know, I know last season he wasn't as prolific, but it seems to be this season teams just can't deal with him. Whatever Man City are doing, they can't stop him this year. And there has been seasons where he has been a bit, you know, slower, but this year he's bang on it, like you said.
No, absolutely incredible striker. Right, so that's our 11. And that's it for Christmas. We'll be back after Christmas. Of course, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. As it stands, for Christmas, Arsenal are top of the league. But I'd rather be top in May. That's where I want Arsenal to be at. But listen, it's a lot to play for still at the top. At the bottom, it's starting to look ominous for those bottom 3. But at the top, all to play for. So who's going to win the league and who's going to get in them Champions League places as well. It's going to be a really interesting season. Mark, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Cheers.
See you all soon.